Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Crowley, and I'm your professor for IT 2750, scripting fundamentals for cybersecurity. We're going to be using Python this semester to explore some topics in the cybersecurity space, learn Python, and see how we put it all together. I've been teaching this course now for a few years, and I would say it's one of my favorite courses here in the cybersecurity program at Tri-C, maybe even the IT program, but I'm a little biased. A little bit of background about me. I've been teaching college courses since 2017. I also teach at Notre Dame College in South Euclid, and I'm an assistant professor of cybersecurity. I have two companies, a cybersecurity firm which I own, and I'm the CEO of a B2B SaaS company called Tundun. But I love teaching, and my background is actually computer programming. So I'm a computer engineer, graduated from Case Western. I got my MBA from Temple in Philadelphia, and I love to share my knowledge when I can. As far as my industry credentials, I'm both a CISSP and CCSP, so certified through ISC squared in the cybersecurity space, and I'm a CM with AAAE, which is the American Association of Airport Executives. So spent a lot of time in the airport space as the CIO for Hopkins Airport and Philadelphia Airport. So that's my background. What we're doing in this course is we're going to spend the next, we'll call it 17 weeks because there's spring break, learning about, again, Python and cybersecurity and how they both tie together. So when you load up the Blackboard page for this class, it's going to go to announcements first. You'll see this orange bar. This is the student view. I'm just trying to simulate what you'll see. Right now there's no announcements because the first announcement goes out at midnight, so you're not going to see anything yet, but you will soon. The most important part of the site right now for this week is Start Here, so let's go there. So on the left-hand side, click Start Here. You get a little welcome message. You get my You Can't Spell Scripting Fundamentals Without Fun, and that is absolutely true. And in Start Here is the most important aspect of this course, the syllabus. This is our contract. I'll click it so we can open it. Again, this gives you information about me, how to contact me. I do not have office hours at Tri-C. I am an adjunct at Tri-C. So if you need me, we have to schedule time together that mutually works. And then one prerequisite for this course that I'm going to stress is IT 1050, Programming Logic. We will be starting from the beginning with Python, learning about basic programmatic syntax and flow control and functions, but you need to have taken a programming course before. This isn't a first-time programming class. If you haven't, and you're not self-taught in some way, shape, or form, this course is not for you. So I just want to be very clear that we will be starting with the assumption that you have learned a programming language before. It's a 3-credit-hour course, so you can expect to be spending at least 3 hours a week on the course. In this case, you're getting both lecture and lab. If you need to drop the course, if you decide, hey, this professor sucks, I'm done. Well, if you don't want no record, February 1st. If you want the W grade, it's April 15th if you decide that maybe you don't like your grade in the course and you want to drop it. So I think you'll like it. Usually we'll always have folks that want to drop the class. That's fine. But I really think you're going to enjoy the class. Required instructional policies. This is the same syllabus portion for every course. Yes, I know. It's a security issue. This is from Tri-C, academic credit, accessibility statement, attendance tracking. It's my responsibility to make sure that you're actually in the course and not defrauding the system. So I make sure that your attendance in this course is viewing Blackboard, accessing items in Blackboard, turning in content, specifically for the first couple weeks of the course. And again, if you don't go on Blackboard and you don't submit anything the first 2 weeks, I will drop you from the class automatically. So don't take it personally. If you don't show up for the first 2 weeks, we auto drop you. and let me go back to the syllabus. So let's go to the meat of the course. Um, Objectives for the course are here. They're outlined both in here and for the official course outline by the college. Textbooks. Two textbooks, one paid, one free. You don't really have to buy the main textbook if you don't want to. This is why. All three resources are going to get you to the same point, and I do not ask questions from the book. All of my labs, all of my quizzes, I've created. So in this class, if you decide that you don't want to get the Mind tab for Cengage Python Fundamentals, if you don't already have a Cengage Unlimited subscription, you technically don't have to. There is a free book, which everyone can get for free, AutomateTheBoringStuff.com. I use it heavily. I use it personally. Love the book. Highly suggest you use it. And there's a ton of videos in the course. So that I don't know, there might be 40 or 50 videos. Sorry, I had to stop the video for a second. The heater in my house sounds like a freight train. So there's 40 or 50 videos that you can use that are strewn throughout the lessons. And again, they're covering every imaginable topic that we use. So your choice again. Automate the boring stuff, in my opinion, is the best way to go, though. But it is your choice. If you have less confidence in your programming skills, then you definitely should get the Python Fundamentals book, to use the supplemental labs, to use MindTap. But again, this is your choice. This is a college class. It's technically the required text, but it's your choice, ultimately. Methods of evaluation. We have labs, quizzes, discussion boards, a midterm, and a group project final. So the midterm is going to be a multiple choice exam, maybe a coding question in there. I'm not going to promise anything now because it's the beginning of the semester. But the final project will be a coding project and a paper together. So you have 11 labs on cybersecurity topics associated with the week. You have 11 quizzes that combine Python and cybersecurity questions. You have 14 discussion boards where you'll talk about a topic with your peers, and a midterm and a final. And I get this every semester, and I just want to give you some advice. The quizzes and the discussion boards are free points. You can get 49% of your grade for free by simply doing the discussion boards and taking the quizzes, which have unlimited retries every single week. I tell people there's no reason why you can't get an A in the class as long as you're turning the assignments in. And this is why I am very strict about late assignments, because in this class I give you every single opportunity to turn assignments in. I give a set of assignments that are purely about your organizational skills, right? Like discussion boards. Every Thursday you do an initial post. Every Sunday you do 2 reply posts. Quizzes, due by Sunday night, right? Very predictable patterns throughout the semester, and you have multiple opportunities to retry those quizzes. So it's not like you're getting a test every week. It's your choice, again, going back to you are college students, you are making adult decisions here. If you don't want to do the assignments, I will say that's the number one reason why people do not do well in the class is they just neglect to do assignments. So again, it's your choice, but I highly recommend you do it. We use the standard grading scale for Tri-C, and here's the breakdown for the semester. So here's how it goes. The first 4 weeks are probably the most intense, so I tried something different this semester. Setting up your machine, getting it ready to run Python. If you've never used Python before, just understanding the thing. We had a lot to do in week 1. So I spread that over 2 weeks. And then I spread out flow control and functions the first time you do a real lab. You are doing a lab in the first week, but it's simple. Spread that over 2 weeks. I want to start the semester right for you. So I want to give you some more time to understand what you're doing, understand the process. So take note that weeks 1 through 4, you are only doing one topic in each 2-week block. And then going forward, once you get into the groove and start getting used to things, you'll have a topic every single week. So week 5, week 6, week 7, those are quick hits. Okay? Then we go into midterm and spring break. And then you're running through another set of weekly topics, all up until, I would say, 15's an easy week. It's best practices. Like, we're going to talk about best way to comment code and code doc in Python, making sure that you're using readable function and variable names. That's the easiest week of the class, aside from spring break. And then right into the group project where you're going to be building a cybersecurity tool with your group and writing a paper on it. And we're not going to do a presentation, but you're going to write a paper that explains the software requirements and what your project is going to do. So we cover a lot of topics in the class. We're doing 2 things in parallel, if you think about it. We're learning Python, and for every topic in Python, we're learning how to express that topic in cybersecurity. So when you're learning lists and dictionaries, we're cracking passwords on zip files. When you're learning regular expressions, we're parsing logs. When you're learning strings, we're encrypting and decrypting messages. So we're taking a related topic, running it in parallel with each of the Python topics that you're learning, save for weeks 1 and 2, where it's some basics, and week 15, where it's just best practices. So that is the course in a nutshell from the syllabus standpoint. And let me scroll down. Late work. I don't accept late work. Again, this is your choice. And remember, this is an asynchronous format, meaning we don't have class, right? You can do this whenever you want during the week, but you have to remember I need to grade the assignments. And what I'm not going to do is, there's courses like 1090 where you can turn everything in at the end of the semester. Your labs are pretty hefty, and there's absolutely no way I can grade everybody's labs from every week in one day. So we need to meter this out throughout the semester, so it's definitely your responsibility to turn things in. There's always exceptions, right? You have COVID. You have some other documented medical issue from a doctor, a medical doctor, just to be clear. You have a death in the family. Like, there are extenuating circumstances. I will review those on a case-by-case basis. So, except where I am legally bound to accept an excuse, it is up to me and my discretion. And I will apply that discretion when I look at the various excuses that you have for not turning in an assignment. But to be clear, due date means the date things are due. So that's the due dates in a nutshell. Everything else is boilerplate that you are used to by now in your courses. Let's Engage textbook. Again, it's the required textbook. If you choose to buy that required textbook, the course key is here. Ethical considerations. Again, as a member of ISC Squared, a CISSP, and CCSP, I am bound under a certain code of ethics in my work, and this class will operate under that same code of ethics. So not only academic integrity, which we will discuss at the end of this video, but also when we do some of these projects, when we're looking at open source intelligence gathering, enumeration, cybersecurity topics, you cannot operate illegally with the knowledge that you're learning for this class. What you do outside of this class is your own personal choice. But in this class, the assignments you do will be narrowly focused and will follow good ethical practices. Again, other code of conduct. Well, since it's here, let's talk about it. I know when you cheat, right? Um, I don't need some sort of online tool to tell me that a piece of code is not yours or a piece of writing is not yours. As soon as I learn how you write over the first couple weeks, as soon as I learn how you code, which is basically the same thing, everybody has the way they code and the way they write. People use certain idiomatic expressions, they use certain formatting. If I see you coding at a beginner level and then 1 week you're suddenly jumping to using advanced concepts in Python, the odds are is you ripped that code off the internet. If you choose to do that, whether in writing or in code, you will receive at minimum a 0 for the assignment, and at minimum I will be reporting you to the college. So just remember, if you do it once, you're getting reported. Even that first time, I may fail you in the course and remove you from the course. But again, this depends on the severity. Obviously, the world is a gray area. I'm going to take a look at what you did, and I'm going to make a professional call of whether or not you'll get the easy end of the spectrum or the maximum sentence for the spectrum, and we'll go from there. But it is my choice as the teacher of this class, as a professor here, to judge how severe, whether it was intentional or unintentional, that plagiarism was. For instance, if I ask you to write a function and you copy and paste that whole function off of Stack Overflow, and you do not properly cite, and the whole code is from another website that someone else wrote, that would be considered plagiarism. So I just want to be clear. The goal of this course is for you to learn. I'm not going to go over my philosophy of end of course grading or curving or anything like that right now, but it's your responsibility to turn in your own work. All right, so let's dig into the last parts here, course content. This is where you're going to be in every week. Weeks 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 are the exception, but every week is broken down into readings, videos, discussion boards, and other graded assignments. So each week I have overview and to-dos. Week 1 and 2, it's a little big, right? You'll see this is a little long. This is getting you set up. I give you the due dates. Then I have 3 folders: readings, videos, graded assignments. Readings is what you should read every week from various textbooks, right? Videos are videos like this where you can hear me discuss awesome Python and cybersecurity topics. And graded assignments are graded assignments. And I said each week you have typically a discussion board, a quiz, and a lab. And they're all under graded assignments. Now just remember, weeks 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 are different. You're only going to have 1 quiz for weeks 1 and 2 that'll be due week 2. 1 quiz for 3 and 4 that's due week 4. You will have a discussion board due every week though. Thursday's your initial post, and Saturday is your final posts. And then the labs. So how do the labs work? Well, we're going to be using GitHub, and I have a video on installing Git, but you'll click the link each week. I'll click it here. You will accept the assignment, and then you'll be provided with a repository, and you will make changes to the code right here. So you'll download this code, make the changes. You'll want to put your name and your S number. By the way, if you don't do that, you get a 0 on the assignment. I cannot correlate your GitHub usernames to your name, and I don't bother trying because it's like people have some crazy GitHub names. So just put your name on it. It's really easy under author, and then you'll fill in the code and you'll recommit that code back to GitHub, and then I grade it each week. So again, you click the GitHub link, you accept the assignment, and that's what these first 2 weeks are for. It's just understanding how this works. So again, if you omit your name and S number on files, you get a 0 score. I get it. You're in a rush. You want to get these things in. Just remember to put your name, right? The first week, I'll remind you. I'm not going to give you a 0 weeks 1 and 2. I'm going to send you an email saying, please put your name on it. And again, let me go back to a normal week. Go back to course content. Like week 5. Here's an example. Lists and dictionaries. Readings, videos, graded assignments. Week 6. I gotta change that. It says week 4 content. Strings, and I'll update that in a second. Little blurb, readings, videos, graded assignments. So as you can see, it's pretty formulaic throughout the course. So again, no reason why you shouldn't just get used to discussion board, lab, and quiz. Discussion board, lab, and quiz. I think that's it. Definitely read the syllabus. Again, that's our contract. Heed the ethics warning that I gave you. Watch for the announcements. And, one thing about this course is I really get excited about the labs. You all do. Even though I give guidance on the labs, they're not meant to be constraining. So I end up getting, when I have 20 people in the class, 20 different unique assignments. It's really cool to see how everyone thinks differently and approaches the problems differently. And yes, there are constraints. We're going to do cryptanalysis, so I'm going to pre-write a method for you in Python. But the approach to problems and your unique way of doing it is expressed in those labs. So it's really cool to see, especially how you progress through the semester. So that's it. It was, I guess, great to meet you, even though we haven't met. It's just me talking into a computer. But yeah, I really look forward to having you in the class. I understand asynchronous is a little weird, but I am around if you need help. And I guess that's one other clarification, the difference between what I do and what a tutor does. There may be some of you that have significant problems transitioning to Python or coding. My job as a professor is I am here as a guide to guide you on your journey of learning. But I am not here to walk with you every step of the way. That's the difference between, I suppose, a tutor and the lecturer or professor of a course. If you're emailing me every day that you're running into a problem, you want help, I feel for you. I empathize with your situation, and we're going to work together to find you a tutor. If, obviously you're emailing me once every couple weeks, like, hey, I ran into this big issue. Definitely first week, ran into a problem. I'll provide you suggestions, right? That's my job here. My job is to guide you towards the solution, not to walk you step by step to it and give it to you. So again, my expectation here is that, especially in this asynchronous format, I am guiding you and providing direction towards your learning. But if we're getting to the point where your needs are greater than what I can provide, I'm going to let you know right away. So don't take offense if I bring up, hey, let's really talk about tutoring, because it's good for everybody, and it's especially good to make sure that you're meeting the requirements of the course. So yeah, it was great to meet you. We will talk. I may do a couple videos throughout the semester. I definitely will do one before the final to discuss the specifics of the final for this semester. But again, I will talk to you soon, and have a great first week. Thanks.